Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Devi Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, Divine and Demonic Natures, text number 19 onwards. So it's been a long time since we had discussion on Bhagavad Gita. So last verse, of course, in this whole chapter, Krishna basically described demonic qualities. And in the last verse, he said, in verse 18, bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion. So the false ego, strength, pride, lust, anger, the demonic person, they get bewildered by that. And they think, I am the controller, I am the Ishwar, I'm proprietor, I'm the enjoyer. Who's this Ishwar? Who's this Parameshwar? Who's Krishna? Who has seen him? So they talk like that. All the demons, they have done that. Whether it is Ravan or Kamsa or Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and see what happened to them. And then Krishna says what happens to them. Tanaham dvishatah kruran samsareshu naradhaman kshipami ajasram ashubhan asrishva eva yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are among the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. So this is what happens when we become a demon, when we have demoniac tendencies, when we are envious of Krishna, when pride takes over, lust takes over, and we think we are the enjoyers and we want to enjoy this material world, this material body. Then Krishna says, what do I do? It's not like Krishna will sit and just watch them do all sorts of nonsense. Of course, he is out of mercy, he still gives everybody a chance. Even up till the last moment of one's life, he gives them a chance. And if he still doesn't, then what does Krishna do? Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually, not just once, perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Of course, he doesn't say I eternally put them in hell. No, but I perpetually, one after the other. Because those who are envious, their consciousness becomes like that. And they cannot think of anything good at the time of leaving the body. So they get into lowest species of life by Krishna's arrangement. In this verse, it is clearly indicated that the placing of a particular individual soul in a particular body is a prerogative of the Supreme Will. It's not like anybody can take birth anywhere. So if that was the case, all of us would like, oh, next birth, of course, we are trying to be devotees, so we'd like to in devotees family, but 99% of the population, 99.99% of the population, they would think, oh, let me take birth in the house of Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg or Warren Buffett or Jeff Bezos or Tata or Birla or Ambani, so I can lead my life very nicely in full opulence. But taking birth in anybody's place is not in our hands. Krishna takes care of that. And Krishna himself doesn't. He has Yamraji. That's Yamraji's department. He has assigned Yamraji to take care of all this. The demoniac person may not agree to accept the supremacy of the Lord, and it's a fact that he may act according to his own whims, but his next birth will depend upon the decision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and not on himself. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, it is stated that an individual soul, after his death, is put into the womb of a mother, where he gets a particular type of body under the supervision of superior power. So everything happens by control, not by chance. So under superior power means all the demigods are watching which soul is going to go to which womb, or first of all, which species, which mother, and then which family, and how is this life going to be. Everything is controlled. Therefore, in the material existence, we find so many species of life, animals, insects, men, and so on. All are arranged by the superior power. They are not accidental. As for the demoniac, it is clearly said here that they are perpetually put into the wombs of demons, and thus they continue to be envious, the lowest of mankind. Such demoniac species of men are held to be always full of lust, always violent and hateful, and always unclean. The many kinds of hunters in the jungle are considered to belong to the demoniac species of life. So the many kinds of hunters in the jungles, Prabhupada has put them in one category, that they are the ones who are demonic, but they are even in the cities. So such demoniac people can be found. In fact, we look inside us, how much demoniac tendencies we have. The lust and the anger and the greed and false pride, enviousness of Supreme Personality. And somebody can say, "Oh, I'm not envious of him." Well, enviousness of him doesn't only mean that we see him, we know him, and then we become envious of what he has and we don't have. Indirectly also we can become envious. How? If we try to enjoy separately from Krishna in any way, that means we are becoming envious because we don't want to serve Krishna. We don't want to recognize the position of Krishna. We don't want to admit that Krishna is the enjoyer. Original enjoyer is Krishna. Our enjoyment is in serving him. Our enjoyment is in following his instructions. So if at all we are trying to enjoy this material world without offering it back to Krishna, or even the demigods who are supplied or who are in charge of different material ingredients of the universe or different departments of the universe, then indirectly we are being envious of Krishna. Why Krishna is the enjoyer? Why not me? And in fact, somewhere I read that sex enjoyment is a topmost indication of one's being envious of Krishna. Text 20. Asurim yonim apanna mura janmani janmani mam prapya eva kaunteya tato yanti adhamam gatim. Attained repeated birth amongst the species of demoniac life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. So slowly, because first they get into some lower species of life, and because of the working in that, slowly they get down more and more more and more. Because the soul is so envious. Whether in any body, he is envious. Envious means he wants to enjoy. That's it. It is known that God is all merciful, but here we find that God is never merciful to the demonic. It's clearly stated that the demonic people, life after life, put into the wombs of similar demons, and not achieving the mercy of the Supreme Lord, they go down and down, so that at last they achieve bodies like those of cats, dogs, and hogs. It is clearly stated that such demons have practically no chance of receiving the mercy of God at any stage of later life. So basically, they have no chance by the arrangement of Krishna. But by the arrangement of devotees, they still have chance. Devotees are considered to be more merciful than Krishna. Of course, they are bringing the mercy of Krishna. They don't have that mercy on their own. Anything that devotees do, this basically it comes from Krishna. But Krishna, being so kind, so grateful towards his devotees, he lets them take his mercy and give it to anybody they want. We read about special prerogative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but there is a special right or special prerogative of the devotees that even Krishna does not over or veto that. He agrees to it actually. So even if a person very, very envious, and Krishna sometimes, or many times, or maybe all the time, I don't know, he makes arrangement for that demoniac person or the demon to have association of devotees. Just like any demon we can think of from the history, from the scriptures. Kansa was given the association of Devaki and Vasudeva. If he had been able to serve them, even after killing the sons of Devaki, if he had just served once Vasudeva and Devaki, Krishna would have never, maybe he would have been killed, but Krishna would have never thrown him into darkest regions of hell. But again, it's Krishna's mercy because Kansa died from the hands of Krishna, so he got purified. But the demons, they are always given a chance. Hiranyakashipu was given a chance to associate with Prahlad Maharaj, but he never did. He never listened to Prahlad Maharaj. His ego was so big that, I'm going to listen to my 5-year-old son? There's no way. But the devotees of the Lord are still so merciful. When Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, and later on, he very lovingly put his lotus hands on the head of Prahlad Maharaj and asked him to ask for a boon. First, Prahlad Maharaj said, I'm not a businessman that I do something and expect something in return. I'm not going to ask for a boon. Nrsimhadev said, no, I want to give you a boon. You please ask me. Prahlad Maharaj, okay, you please forgive my father who tried to kill me. So that's the heart of a devotee. Ravan was given association of Vibhishan, and later on Sita herself, the goddess of fortune, for 1 full year. But he tried to exploit, to enjoy Sita, and he was so envious of Vibhishan, he kicked him out. But in the end, of course, Ram killed him and he went back to the spiritual world. But demons are given a chance by the mercy of the Lord to come to the association of devotees. Even if they are in the body of dogs and hogs and cats. There was one incident of Prabhupada that I remember in San Francisco. Prabhupada was there, and I heard, I've never been there, but I heard it's a small temple And when after the lecture, Prabhupada would just sit in the lawn or some place and he would speak with the devotees on different topics. A cat used to come and the cat would play always at the lotus feet of Prabhupada. Devotees tried to shoo him away, shoo the cat away, but Prabhupada said, no, no, it's okay, let him play. And it would happen every day. So a few days later, devotees saw or they heard that the cat was crossing the road and he died coming under a car. So devotees felt bad for the cat because he was coming every day to take shelter of Prabhupada's lotus feet. So they went to Prabhupada. They told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, that cat just died. And you know what Prabhupada said? Prabhupada said that cat actually was a disciple from a previous life. He had somehow fallen down and now he was coming to take shelter of my lotus feet. So that's why he was always playing at my lotus feet. Of course, I don't think Prabhupada's lotus feet, so I'm adding that. So now he said that cat has died, so he is relieved from this cat's body. So now he will take birth again among some devotee, take birth again in devotee. So even to the animals, devotees are merciful. So what to speak of people? This is, and this reason, and for this mentality or this compassionate heart of the devotees, this is what makes them very, very, very dear to Krishna. Where devotees, just like Prabhupada, devotees take all sort of risks to go and preach and bring more and more people towards the service of Krishna. They take all kinds of risks. They undergo themselves all kinds of physical tribulations or physical uncomfortness, but still they want to give this mercy to others. So that's all. They really extend themselves, that yes, I want to help more and more people. But the envious, Krishna says, I cast them perpetually into the lower species of life. It may, okay, in the Vedas also it is stated that such persons gradually sink to become dogs and hogs. It may then be argued in this connection that God should not be advertised as all merciful if he is not merciful to such demons. In answer to this question, in the Vedanta Sutra, we find that the Supreme Lord has no hatred for anyone. The placing of the asuras, the demons, in the lowest status of life is simply another feature of his mercy. Sometimes asuras are killed by the Supreme Lord, but this killing is also good for them. For in the Vedic literature, we find that anyone who is killed by the Supreme Lord becomes liberated. There are instances in history of many asuras, Ravan, Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, to whom the Lord appeared in various incarnations just to kill them. Therefore, God's mercy is shown to the asuras if they're fortunate enough to be killed by him. So this is another feature of his mercy, that he kills them himself. So when they get killed by Krishna, they get liberated. So just like last time we were discussing, so we have an option, either to become a devotee or to become a demon. But to become a demon, first of all, we have to commit so many sinful activities, so many, and some plenty of tapasya also we have to undergo. So who is willing to do that kind of activity? So much of sin, and pretty much terrorize the whole world. So these little bitty terrorists these days that we see, Krishna is not going to come down and kill them. One has to be very strong demon. But on the other hand, one can be a very small devotee and he will get all the mercy of Krishna. He'll get all the protection from Krishna. Even if it's small, even a neophyte devotee, who just beginning on this path. Oh, in this lifetime, of course, we don't know what he has done or she has done in the previous lifetime. So, but in this lifetime, apparently, he's just beginning. But it's also said that anyone who chants one name of Krishna, one name, but that name should come from the heart. If one chants just one name of Krishna, so many reactions to the sinful activity that he has committed, or not even committed, he had just thought of those sinful activities. All the reactions are wiped out. Just uttering one name of Krishna. We're not talking the whole Mahamantra, just one name of Krishna. It is so beneficial. So to become a devotee is simple, and it's more beneficial, more rewarding. And even devotee who's just starting, he can get mercy of Krishna. But for demon, one has to really work hard to get the mercy of Krishna. Because little bitty demons, Krishna himself is not going to come and kill them. He lets his material energy take care of it. Text 21. Trividam narkasyedam dvaram nashnam atma kamah krodhas tatha lobhas tasmad edat trayam tyajet. There are three gates leading to this hell. Krishna said, I put them into hell. So there are three gates for hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Lust, anger, and greed. The beginning of demoniac life is described here. One tries to satisfy his lust. When cannot, anger and greed arise. A sane man who does not want to glide down to the species of demoniac life must try to give up these three enemies, which can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from this material entanglement. So these are the three enemies: lust, anger, and greed. In fact, anger and greed are dependent upon lust, so it's lust only. In third chapter also, Krishna, Kame Yesha Krodesh Rajoguna Samadbhava. So this lust means to enjoy separately from Krishna. That's all. Has to be given up. Of course, in our philosophy, the process is given is, if you give your soul or your mind a higher taste, it will automatically give up the lower taste. It will be so natural for him. So for the lust, for us to enjoy our senses, the senses do need enjoyment. That's for sure. Krishna is full of rasa, and Krishna is full of enjoyment. And we are part and parcel of Krishna, so we also require enjoyment, pleasure. And that's why he has given us these senses. Of course, the real reason is the senses should be engaged in his service. But through these senses only we enjoy. We serve and we enjoy at the same time. So the propensity or the inclination to enjoy is always there. It's not something new. Of course, the inclination toward bhakti is always there as well, because soul is part and parcel of Krishna. But the sense gratification, the enjoyment that one gets from it, that pleasure is always there. Always. Only thing we have to do is dovetail or transform this lust into service mode of Krishna. That's all. Senses will be enjoyed properly by serving Krishna. So senses do need the enjoyment, senses do need pleasure, but we are looking at the wrong place. That's all. If we look at the right place, we'll find unlimited pleasure. Rishabdev Maharaj told his Rishabdev told his sons, Tapo divyam yena putrika sattvam, shuddhya dasvat, brahm sokyam tvanantam. Tapo divyam, do divya tapa. And what it will do? Shuddhya dasmat, it will purify you. And then you will achieve, or you will experience Brahma Sokyam Tva Anantam. Ananta Brahma Sukha. This is what you're going to taste. But that comes from tapasya, and from tapasya we purify our senses, then we can enjoy completely. Like Prabhupada had given one example, I was listening to his lecture. He says, when somebody is sick, somebody has fever, high fever, and he is on his bed, the inclination, the tendency, the propensity to eat is there, to eat nice, great, delicious food is there. Propensity to go and watch movies there. Propensity to listen to music is there. Propensity to be with the member of opposite sex is there. But the person is sick; he can't even move. So he doesn't enjoy. So this is the case of material world. The soul here is sick, is diseased, is ill. It's not clean. It's not in its original pure position. So we reduce this fever of material world, material existence. And then when we go back to the spiritual, or we perform spiritual activities, we will definitely get the real taste, real enjoyment. Because now just like if somebody is sick, he wants to enjoy, but he cannot. But when he gets okay, he can go ahead and enjoy whatever he wants to. So similarly, us, we are right now in a disease condition of existence. We just have to get out of it, or change our or transform our conditioning, and then we can enjoy. Brahma Sokyam Tvanantam, that much of enjoyment. And it is there, pleasure is there. How do we know pleasure is there? We don't find pleasure in chanting or reading or hearing or service. How come the pleasure is there? The pleasure is exhibited by devotees. Just like you look at Prabhupada, it is said the mind is the index, face is the index of mind. So whatever is going on in the mind, it will show up on the face. So that's why devotees like Prabhupada and other pure, senior, exalted, advanced devotees, you will see their faces are always glowing. There is a glow, and there's a particular kind of not just the peacefulness, it's kind of joy on their face. Even though they might be dealing with some very tough matters, but the face is glowing, and it has some kind of peace or happiness on the face. So then we know this person is really enjoying within. Without the makeup, the face is glowing. What else we can ask for? And that enjoyment within is yoga, actually. So even the yogis who meditate, their faces are also always glowing. If it is a real yogi, you can notice that. But obviously, they don't get the full pleasure of serving Krishna to have a reciprocal relationship with Krishna. That's not what they enjoy. But but they do enjoy the lack of material problems. Text 22. एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारे स्त्रीभिर्नरः आचर्यत्यात्मनः श्रेयस्ततो याति param gatim. Okay, who goes to param gatim? Now Krishna explains. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell. The three gates of hell are lust, anger, and greed. O son of Kunti performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. So one who has escaped these three gates of hell, then he engages himself in spiritual practices and he attains, gradually he makes progress on the path of final destination. One should be very careful of these three enemies to human life: lust, anger, and greed. The more a person is freed from lust, anger, and greed, the more his existence becomes pure. Then he can follow the rules and regulations enjoined in the script, in the Vedic literature. By following the regulatory principles of human life, one gradually raises himself to the platform of spiritual realization. So gradually we make progress. Sometimes devotees do ask, oh, it's been 2 years, it's been 10 years, I'm doing this, I don't feel any change. Well, the very fact that you're still continuing to do so, continuing to chant Krishna's name or continuing to attend temple programs or do some services, that means one is making progress. Otherwise, who can continue with these services? If we think we're not making any progress. If one is so fortunate by such practice to rise to the platform of Krishna consciousness, then success is guaranteed for him. In the Vedic literature, the ways of action and reaction are prescribed to enable one to come to the stage of purification. The whole method is based on giving up lust, greed, and anger. By cultivating knowledge of this process, one can be elevated to the highest position of self-realization. This self-realization is perfected in devotional service. In that devotional service, the liberation of the conditioned soul is guaranteed. Wow. In the devotional service, the liberation of conditioned soul is guaranteed. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, there are instituted the 4 orders of life and 4 statuses of life. That is called Varnashram system. There are different rules and regulations for different castes or divisions of society. And if a person is able to follow them, he will be automatically raised to the highest platform of spiritual realization. Then he can have liberation without doubt. So somehow or other, we have to close these gates of hell: lust, anger, and greed. Text 23. Yah shastra vidhim utsribhya vartate kamkaratah na sa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Now, why Krishna is telling all this to Arjuna? Arjuna was saying, I don't want to fight. So where was the question of lust for him? So lust in this case is Arjuna's thinking that I will not be happy if I fight. He was thinking of running away to the forest to beg. Because He wanted to give pleasure to his senses, to his mind, thinking that I will not be happy if I fight. And here Krishna is telling him to fight. So in this case, love is him, Arjun, following the orders of Krishna and fight. Otherwise, if he doesn't follow, if he goes away on his own, that will be considered as lust, because he wanted to just serve his senses. So it's difficult to understand that on one hand, we think we are seeing a very good example set by Arjun. I don't want to fight, I'd rather take sannyas and go away. But that sannyas, so-called sannyas by Arjun, would have been considered on the level of lust because it's not approved, sanctioned by the Lord himself. And one who acts according to his own whims and fancies and doesn't follow the scriptures, it is said that he attains neither perfection nor happiness and neither the supreme destination. Now what's the point? Means if Arjun had ran away from the war, he's not following Krishna's instructions, then he would have never found perfection, happiness, or the supreme destination. By following Krishna's advice, by killing people, by killing so many warriors, Arjun attained the supreme destination. So it's not that always peace is right or not following the rules and regulations is right. It's not that. That as described before, the Shastra Vidhi or the direction of the Shastra is to give different is given to the different castes and orders of human society. Everyone is expected to follow these rules and regulations. If one does not follow them and acts whimsically according to his lust, greed, and desire, then he will never be happy or perfect in this world. In other words, a man may theoretically know all these things, but if he does not apply them in his own life, then he is to be known as the lowest of mankind. So that's why scriptures are very important in our life. Scriptures are the guiding light for us to know how to live properly. So Prabhupada said, therefore one should gradually raise himself to the platform of Krishna consciousness and devotion service. It's then and there he can attain the highest perfection stage, not otherwise. Text 24. Tasma shastram pramanam te karya vyavasito gyatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum iharhasi. One should therefore understood what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. So this is telling Arjun because he wants Arjun to fight. So he's saying, just follow the scriptures. And in the scriptures, the duties of Kshatriya is given. As stated in 15th chapter, all the rules and regulations of the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. If one understands Krishna from the BhagavadGita and becomes situated in Krishna consciousness, engaging himself in devotional service, he has reached the highest perfection of knowledge offered by the Vedic literature. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this process very easy. He asked people simply to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and to engage in the devotional service of the Lord and eat the remnants of foodstuff offered to the deity. So Mahaprabhu made it very, very, very simple. But again, Krishna's point was for Arjun to follow the scriptures, follow the duties given in the scriptures for Kshatriyas, and just follow the dharma. So anyway, it's a long purpose. I'll stop here, see anybody has any questions or comments. And today actually we complete chapter 16 of Bhagavad Gita. So by Krishna's mercy, only 2 chapters are left. Of course, 18th chapter is pretty long, so it will take us some time. But anyway, we have covered so many. So any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, sometimes we feel like, like working in office and fulfilling our daily responsibilities is comparatively hard than going to Vrindavan or, uh, I mean, spending time there more. So, Prabhuji, it is again, uh, Lord's wish.
That's a spiritual sense gratification. Well, going to Vrindavan or Govardhan is not wrong. I'm not saying it is wrong. But we do enjoy because that's where we want to be. But we are not eligible yet to be there full time or permanently. We have just to become eligible. And whenever we are eligible, qualified, Krishna will make arrangements for us to live there. But right now, our duty is, if we have a job or business, we take care of that, take care of family members, at the same time take care of our sadhana. That's all.
So, Prabhuji, fulfilling our duties correctly and then following Bhakti Yoga, that is what Krishna wants.
Yeah. Even Arjun wanted to run away. Krishna didn't allow him. Right? He didn't allow him. So, and moreover, why do we think just going to Vrindavan is bhakti? Why not sitting in Gurgaon and preaching or doing other services? Why is that not bhakti? And there are other risks of going to Vrindavan if we are not qualified. Again, I'm saying that. Why? Because we might commit plenty of offenses when we are there. And that will be very bad for our bhakti.
Actually, what I feel is sometimes when we feel difficulty or not feeling okay while fulfilling some responsibility, at that time we take shelter of bhakti or do some extra round or go on spiritual trip. But when the things are smooth, then we reduce the bhakti thing and indulge in those activities.
Yeah, because we are at a stage we haven't tasted. We haven't gotten the taste for bhakti yet. So that's okay. We still keep on trying. It is a struggle, but we keep on trying. Vrindavan also, one can go. I'm not saying should not go to Vrindavan. You should go. Vrindavan, Govardhan, and others, so many places. Take advantage of being close to that area. But only thing is, we cannot live there right now. That's all I'm saying. So you have to come back to Delhi or Gurgaon. So, but once we are back, we should perform our sadhana properly. And even going to Vrindavan and not doing our sadhana, we will not get the full advantage.
Thank you,
Is
Prabhuji.
it okay? Thank you. Any other question or comment?
Thank you, Prabhuji. And I think what Chitish Prabhuji has asked, I think we all come across such a situation in our life when we think like that. And you have really beautifully answered this. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Whenever
Mata.
we get too much into our bhav, then also we think like that. And whenever we just want to get rid of things, then also we think like that. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We are really blessed to have your classes actually.
I'm blessed to have you all.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila